quick little project for you this afternoon. We're just going to make a Halloween graveyard out of some old scraps. I'm using some old MDF that I used to have for shelves, but plywood, anything's really going to work here. So let's just draw some patterns and get them cut out. Time to get after it. Okay, so all you really need for this project is some kind of straight edge. Doesn't even have to be a ruler, and some kind of circular, anything to trace really. So I'm going to go ahead and use that straight edge there as the bottom. It's going to be hidden in the grass anyway, so it doesn't even have to be super straight. The easiest shape is just your standard tombstone shape, but we can do other things too. And let's start by making just a mark where I kind of want top to be. Let's take this little one here and make sure it's roughly centered. We kind of want that to kind of taper a little bit, so let's do that. And do the same again. That's about good. Now, if you want to measure this all out, you can, but it's just a stupid little Halloween prop, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Alright, now that we've got our shapes cut out, there's a couple things we could do here. We could get real fancy. We could put a routed edge along the side here. We could, smooth this all out on the sander. I'm actually going to leave it because old broken tombstones are not perfectly symmetrical. They've got little chips and everything like that, so that actually kind of looks like this already. So I'm just going to leave it. The other thing we could do is we could actually make some inscriptions, and we could actually router that out too. That would look really nice. Now, given that this is going to be for Halloween decoration at night, I'm going to skip all that, but feel free to get as creative as you want. We're just going to paint this, and then we're going to use some paint to put on some scripts. I'm going to show you how to make the paint look like it's old rock, and we just got to put something to keep these up. Now, luckily, these scraps from cutting out these pieces are perfect little stands. So we're just going to attach those, some fasteners, whatever fasteners you happen to have lying around, screws. MDF doesn't really hold well with screws, so we might put a screw and a little bit of glue on there. And then, my plan is to just drill a couple of holes so I can put a couple of tent pegs that it's going to hold it on the ground, keep it from blowing over. Yeah. don't want to paint these a uniform gray, because that's not what stone looks like. So we're going to make a few different shades. A light, medium, dark, and then an almost black. If you wanted to get real fancy, you could add in some greens for some moss if you wanted to. Use some whites and blacks as highlights on certain areas. But it's not necessary. So if you want to get real artistic and know how to, go for it. But if not, just do what I'm doing. You want to distribute the color pretty evenly. Like I said, if you wanted to do some greens in here, you could do a little green around kind of this area here, and maybe a little along the top there to make it look like there's some moss growing. You can do some highlights. Maybe make more lighter colors along here, more dark colors along there. But let's remember that this is going to be on the lawn, and it's going to be dark. So you don't need to go crazy. But if you're making this for like an indoor party or something, kids' school, you can get pretty creative. Now we want this to look almost like one color, but we don't want it to quite look like one color. We want it to have a little bit of depth. Now that looks pretty good. It's starting to look like stone. But we want it to look like weathered stone. So over the decades, the stone will leach out some little elements, and they'll kind of run down the face and stain it. So what we're going to do is take a dry brush, just dry brush that down, give it that weathered look, just like that.